Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us. Whether you're watching and listening here in the United States or across the world, thank you so much. Whether this is your first show or whether you've been with us since episode one, we thank you and are grateful for you. If you can give us a thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, and maybe pull out that phone of yours if it's not already out and share the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show with maybe 25, 50, 100 contacts, all free to do, and it would greatly help us reach more people, help more people, and get closer and closer to reaching and helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. We're just incredibly thankful to have a platform and have a tiny microphone to be able to talk to you, whether you are watching, whether you're listening. You're all a part of the Voices for Voices family, and just wanted to let you know and everybody know that uh, there's no prerequisite to be part of our family. Uh, Come as you are. We all have quirks. We all have things. Yeah, I say we're skeletons in the closet. We all have things, and we shouldn't let those things get in the middle of coming together as a human race, as human beings, as people who want to see not only themselves survive and thrive, but others survive and thrive as well. Go through the easy, the comfortable times, and go through the controversial, challenging times. It's not easy. Life is not easy. That's one of the things that it's in my mind a lot of times, but at times that it amplifies a little bit more is when the new school years start. And if we have children, if uh, children are in our family and they go to school and we see them growing, getting bigger, getting taller, getting wiser, getting more caring, loving, kindness, and being being a human being that is soaking up so much information to learn. And so it's at times like these and other times where we start thinking maybe a little bit about our legacies of what are people going to remember us by? Because we're not getting out of this life alive. I wish I had better news than that, but we aren't. And so since we aren't, what do we want people to remember about us? I don't know if it's for some it may be money, some may be possessions, being a good person, trying to be a good person, because we all falter at differing times. And it's okay. And so when that new school year comes around and sometimes we'll take photos and then we compare them from maybe the previous year just to see how much our children have grown. And it's just we can't stop time. That's the one part that, growing up, making a lot of bad decisions, thought that life would always be like that. There would always be that type of a lifestyle, the partying lifestyle and not being the best person or not even close to being the best person, not even trying to be a good person. And then I don't know where exactly when it fully hit, it was November of 2017. But there were clues and signs and symptoms for many years. I just didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to I didn't want to think that I couldn't handle life. And there's some of us watching, listening that may feel that way. That may feel like I can't handle life. It's just too hard. There's too much time spent without hearing maybe congratulations, a pat on the back, a thank you, an award, something. Whereas when we're growing up, we we get that for the most part positive reinforcement of, was nice at school today, helped a friend. We can go down the list. And so we might get a sticker next to our name, or we might get a certificate, we might get something from our teacher, and we feel good about that. It's like, wow, I was recognized in a good way, a positive way. And then we think about how that feels. Well, that feels good to be recognized and to have that positive reinforcement. Not everybody gets that. No, but not everybody has that opportunity. I consider myself lucky in that I did get positive reinforcement growing up. Doesn't make life any easier, maybe for those short periods of time, makes us feel good and we're being recognized in a positive way. So we go through our formative years, we go through our education, and then we get grades. A, A plus, awesome. Couldn't do any better. Or F, we have a lot of work to do. And then time continues. We complete degrees. We earn diplomas. May get a certificate here or there. And then it gets to the point where All right, schooling's done. I gotta find a job. Gotta find a way to put food on the table. And I haven't been the best at this for a period of time. So definitely hits me hard. And so as days go by, kind of to quote, the Keith Urban song a little bit, as days go by, we might not get that positive reinforcement, right? Because if we're done with school, who's going to be the one that gives us that positive reinforcement? A manager or somebody at the organization? Okay, well, what if they don't? Then how does that make us feel? It makes us look really hard at ourselves, really hard at ourselves. Like, am I doing something wrong? Can I be doing something better? I haven't, I haven't, I haven't earned my sticker or star or certificate, you name it. I haven't earned that. I haven't gotten that in such a long time. And then we look back and it's almost as if, and I'm speaking for myself here, I'm speaking for myself. And then I look back at all those years before for me. All right, yeah, there's ups and there's downs. And I go, I'm gonna have to do this myself. I'm gonna have to do a lot of this myself because people at work doesn't automatically mean that they are kind individuals, that they know how to give positive reinforcement. They could have come from a place of, the tough love. Well, just got to get through this. You should have did better. Got to get through this. Should did better. Should have did better. You missed this. You missed that. You missed this. And then we start thinking, why am I even here? Why am I here? Why am I here when all I'm getting is negative feedback? And then it begins to be like, why am I here? Is it worth it? Is life worth it? And that sometimes takes people to very dark places. And if you're there, life is worth living no matter what. No matter how bad no matter how bad things seem, life is worth living. There are contributions to the world that you have to be here because we need those contributions from you and everybody. And so I look back and it's almost like I forget that I went to college. If I forget that I earned an undergraduate degree, I forget that I earned a master's degree. I forget a presentation that went really well because I'm not getting those signals of that positive reinforcement. And I'm not getting it. And if you're not getting it, it's pretty scary sometimes. And I've been there. I've been to those dark places, those points where there's not a whole lot between wanting to live and wanting not to live. So if you're watching and listening and thinking, oh, he's just saying this, he's never been there. I've been there a lot of times, too many to count. And for some reason, I still come back. I still give it another try. We film another episode. Somebody gets inserted into our lives, like one of our past guests with me, and go, wow, the way the prayer went, one of our previous guests, it was just so emotional because especially when you're doing things, start your own organization, start your own whatever, do something for the first time in your family history and your family bloodline. There's going to be uncomfortable times as well as we hope the good times for people. Yeah, people are going to question, people are going to hate that comes with anything. But it's what's inside of us. And when we look at ourselves in the mirror, can we sleep at night? Nah, if you're sick, and I get that, the sleeping at night part. But if we're able to, if we're able to be at peace with what we did for the day, what we accomplished, no matter how small. Justin Bieber's song, Everything Hallelujah. One line is brush my teeth, hallelujah. I'll tell you what, brushing my teeth, it is like a hallelujah when I do it. Some of you say, "Oh yeah, that's something easy to do." He's just making no. I have major depression, and so that means there's some things, brushing my teeth, certain times where it is like I accomplished something because I did, because I went through the days of despair, real days of despair, really despair, where I'd sleep in and I was at that brink of life or no life, and being here on Earth and not being here on Earth. Same with taking a shower. What seemed to be simple things and what were simple things at a period of time, a lot of my life. But there are times where I just don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. And so I don't. And so it does take from above to get me to that point at those certain times. to do the hygiene steps. And so we cover a lot. Sometimes our past isn't the greatest. For me, there are parts that were great and there are parts that weren't. And for a majority of the parts that weren't, they were my fault. It's hard to come to grips with that, no matter what age we are. It's very hard. Because sometimes we like to put ourselves on a pedestal and go, "Oh, well, I'm up here and all these other things are over there or down there." When in fact, none of us are on pedestals. We're just human beings doing the best we can. That's it. And so when we have these deep episodes and talk about, why am I here? Why am I still alive? You heard me say, none of us are getting out of this life alive. We're just not. So then that gets us thinking, well, why are we here? Why are we even here then? Is it the money? Is it the fame? What is it? And that's where I landed at Voices for Voices. I wanted to do something to impact positivity, positivity. I wanted to help a lot of people in a positive way, whether it's through our episodes, our shows, being able to uh, do any number of things. And so that's become me. That's why you see my face. I'm far from the prettiest person. I say I have face for a radio. And so that's the reason I feel and I get validated at certain points from God. I'm here to help people. I've had I've helped myself more than a lot of people over the course of many, many, many lives. And so this has been a great way to humble myself. And you know what? It feels pretty good to help people. Feels pretty good to share stories, good and bad and all in between. Feels pretty good to have guests on and have them share and to know that they have a voice too. It's not just me. I'm only one person. That's it. I'm only one person. We got to do this together to help to reach the 3 billion threshold. And then we want to go for more. So wherever you're at in life, know that there's better times ahead. Some of it, we just need to turn off the phones, sit in some quiet, some silence, and just let our mind take over. Because when we're constantly getting fed information, that's impacting a lot of our decision making. We got to do it from the heart. And so somebody's social media posts uh, another another podcast or turn it off. Turn it off for 5 minutes. 5 minutes every day or every other day or 5 minutes once a week. Start small, but make sure it's coming from your heart, not somebody else's heart. It's coming from your heart, not your roommate's heart. From your heart, not your brother or your sister, or you get the idea. Because if you're not in it for the right reasons and you aren't in it all the way, how can you expect others to come with you for the journey? That's one thing I've had to learn. Because there was a point at the beginning when I didn't know if I was going to be all in or not. And it got to the point of, well, Justin, either you're all in or you're not. Like there's no in between. And if you're all in, you have to really be all in. It's one thing to say it, but you have to actually do it and exhibit it to others. Because that's the only way people are going to watch. The only way people are going to listen. The only way people are going to want more shows and more shows and more guests and more guests and diversity of doing different product units, I guess we'll call it. And so when you say yes and you're 100% in yourself, is there going to be heartache? Yes, there is. Are there going to be tough financial times? Yes, there is. Are there going to be tough relationship times? Yes, there is. This doesn't negate any of that. All this does is confirm to others as well as yourself that this is what I'm meant to do. Join me. Let's help. There's too much division in the world. We need to help. So let's help people. And that's what Voices for Voices is, what Voices for Voices does. And we, every single night, pray for every single one of you. Pray for ourselves and the whole world. Whole world needs prayers. They need good vibes, whatever your thing is, whether it's God, whether it's doesn't matter. There's always room for you here with us at Voices for Voices. So until our next episode, let's celebrate all the voices in the world. And then let's bring it back and say, let's share our voice in the voice of maybe somebody else that's not able to share their voice. Because everybody should have that opportunity. Let's leave politics out of it. Let's talk about human beings. So thank you very much for joining us. Again, if you can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, get that phone out if it's not already out. Share the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show with maybe 25, 50, 100, 1,000 contacts on your phone. We greatly appreciate it. All free things to do. And if you're able to make a donation, we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit charity organization. If you go over to Venmo, Cash App, or lovevoices.org, 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 and make your 100% federally tax deductible donation to Voices for Voices. Here in the United States, it's 100% tax deductible. We are reaching over 120 countries. So if you're outside the United States, outside our territories or states, uh, just check with who prepares your taxes to find out what the tax laws are where you reside. So thank you. We love you. We support you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Life's worth living. Life's worth living. Life is worth living. Bye bye for now.